Barcelona forgets fast, but the sea remembers. In 2024, under a grocery market in the Gothic Quarter, workers found something. A ship, no flag, no records, just bones, broken wood, and silence. It had shackles, chains, a medallion with the initials TV, and no answers. So what happened? To understand that, we go back 1538, before coffee, before paper money, before borders were even inked. Barcelona was beautiful, but brutal. You could be born in light and die in filth. Golden blood changed hands like bread. The poor worked, the rich left, the sea took. And in that city under cracked tiles and a sky that never stayed blue for long, a boy made a choice. This is not his legend. It's what was left behind.
It was fish, sweat, and the smoke of cheap firewood. My name was Teo Vilanova, 19, son of a weaver, grandson of no one important. I was raised in the cracks of this city. My father left on a ship when I was 6, never came back. They said storm. Some whispered pirates. One neighbor claimed he saw him selling knives in Tunis. This star, it's the only thing he left. Said it would protect me. That the sea remembers names carved in wood. The docks. They were loud, messy, alive. That's where I watched the world leave, one ship at a time. People talk about kings and cathedrals. But Barcelona wasn't gold. It was gray. It was stone that cut your knees when you fell. The city worked like a lung, poor in the ribs, fat near the mouth. Up here in the hills, we had hunger and prayer. Down by the docks, they had coins, brothels, disease. There were rules, but they changed by the hour. The bishop's men preached mercy by day and hanged thieves by night. If you were lucky, you joined a guild. If you weren't, you worked until your fingers bled. This city taught me silence. That hope was a noise you should only whisper. In 1538, Barcelona's trade with Sicily and North Africa was controlled by a few elite families. Corruption was common. The Mediterranean was a chessboard of empire, faith, and profit. And the ships? Half merchants, half pirates. I wasn't looking for glory, just a way out. A poster near the tavern read, "Crew needed, La Fortuna, fast sail, good pay," which really meant hard work, maybe death. She didn't look like much, but she was heading somewhere I wasn't. That was enough. I didn't say goodbye, just left a coin and the star. If I stayed, she'd stop me. And if she stopped me, I'd never forgive myself. She stinks, but she floats. That's more than I can say for me. Some say La Fortuna wasn't just a trade ship. No royal mark, no cargo lists. I signed the book. No one asked my name twice. Didn't care where I came from. That's Farid, the helmsman, Moorish, barely spoke. But when he did, you listened. He read stars better than any map. And just like that, I left. Not with a sword, not with a plan. Just a flask, a half-stale loaf, and a question I was too afraid to ask out loud. What if the sea doesn't care who I am? There's a moment, right after the land disappears, when everything gets quiet. The ship finds a rhythm. You stop thinking about leaving. You start thinking about floating. First morning at sea felt like waking up inside a painting. Deep blue sky, white sails full, men laughing in 5 languages. I slept under the main mast, smelled like pitch and piss. But I didn't care. It was mine.
You're not from the coast. You move like someone expecting land to hold you. It won't.
How do you know?
Because the sea already knows what it will take from you.
That was Farid, Moorish helmsman, steered with one eye closed. Said the stars spoke better that way. He taught me how to read the wind, how to feel current in my knees, how to stay alive if the sea decided otherwise.
Rope tighter, you idiot. Loose rig means we sink faster when God gets angry.
That was Alaric, missing one eye, cursed like a priest's drunk brother. But he gave me extra bread when no one was looking. We played dice on the lower deck, shared stories, lied about girls, sang bad songs. It felt like something close to living. But even in all that, the laughter, the sun, I kept thinking about the hold, the part they told me not to enter. Sometimes, at night, I heard things. Not words. Just breathing. Sailors talk. Not loud, not clear. But the silence between them, that's where the truth leaks out. By our second week at sea, that silence got heavier. Nobody called it cargo. Nobody wrote it in the manifest. But everyone knew something was down there. Even the rats wouldn't go near the hatch. I told myself, it's just flour, saltfish, nothing else. But flour doesn't breathe. Saltfish doesn't cry when it thinks no one's listening. They weren't ghosts. They weren't storm omens. They were people. What's in the hold?
What you think is there.
Then why don't we say it?
Because if we say it, we become part of it.
You knew.
You think the world runs on clean hands, boy?
They're alive, down there.
Not for long. Once we dock in Valencia, they won't be our problem.
But they were. I used to think the sea took my father. Now I wondered if he helped it. You came to escape. You came to be free. Not to become this.
In the 16th century, Mediterranean slave trade moved through shadow routes. Spain denied involvement, but merchant ships like La Fortuna had no state markings.
I didn't sleep that night. I just kept hearing it. The breath, the metal, the waiting. We should say something.
No, you don't say anything. You just do your job.
I thought storms came from the sky, but sometimes they start below deck, where the air is too still, where guilt hangs heavier than sails, where men like me stop being boys. By the 6th day, the sea turned. Wind snapped the lines like twine. The sun vanished behind a sky made of iron. The captain screamed. Alaric loaded the cannons. Farid didn't speak, just stared at the water like it owed him something. Then we saw it. Black sails, low on the horizon, moving too fast. A Barbary corsair.
Position. Get your hands on something solid or start praying.
They fired first. A bolt of fire. Greek fire, they said. The kind that doesn't go out. It landed near the aft. Flames crawled up the sail like they knew the way. The hold! We have to open the hold! They were alive, still down there.
If you open that, we all die. They'll rush out. Water will follow.
They'll drown either way. I couldn't move. My hand was on the iron, but I couldn't move. Farid ran. The captain screamed. The sea hit us like a wall. We went under, just like that. I remember falling, salt in my mouth, fire behind my eyes, the sound of chains, not snapping, just sinking. I didn't save them, I didn't save anyone. The sea doesn't want your guilt. It only wants your weight.
It was supposed to be another expansion project. A supermarket basement. Dig out, reinforce, pour concrete. Instead, they hit timber. Rotted, blackened, buried under layers of stone and time. At first they thought it was storage. Then they found bones, shackles, a brass medallion marked TV, Teo Vilanova. Forensics couldn't explain why the wood curved like a Mediterranean vessel.